What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 13 of the End Zone Boys. And we are back, and this is going to be our NFL Week 1 preview.
Yes,
Um,
we will be doing these every week. One of these on Friday or Saturday before the Sunday games, and then one recapping all of the Sunday games. So we get now two a week end zone episodes. One
well, at least
recapping and then
we'll
one
try
going over.
to. We'll
Try
try
to,
to. We'll try
to our
to. No
best abilities.
guarantee. To our best.
No guarantees,
Um,
but a season long competition on who can pick more winners. We'll get into that later, but for now, I think we should kind of go over the games that have happened. One
yeah.
has finished, and the other is currently in the fourth quarter. So we will talk about what we can talk about that. But let's begin now.
Yep.
Um,
So as we are recording, the Chiefs and the Chargers are playing right now on Friday, September 5th. But we'll talk about that soon. So let's go straight into the Eagles and Cowboys game.
So last night the Eagles defeat the Cowboys 24-20. I will say this was kind of an interesting game. I wouldn't even say the Eagles really won the game. Like they were disappointed. Obviously the
Yeah,
ejection before play even happened will get talked about. But that the Cow I mean 3 points total in the second half combined like just like I don't know. The first half was so fun and then you got to the second half and it was just like kind of a lot of boring football.
yeah. I kind of agree. And I don't really think. I mean, both quarterbacks were fine. Jalen Hurts is pretty efficient. 19 for 23 is not terrible. I think Dak did a good job, but I think what everyone's going to be talking about is CeeDee Lamb because obviously you know that he had four drops yesterday. One of them that happened on fourth down that was the yeah, it was literally the game decider. But I think yeah, this was definitely more of a Cowboys win. It felt like I don't think the Eagles should be too happy about this victory. In
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and it's week one, so every team is still, shaking off rust. But I mean, you look at the leading receiver for the Giants or for the Eagles, sorry, and it's Jahan Dotson with 59 receiving yards. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown did not do much at all. I believe they combined for three or four receptions the entire game. AJ Brown had
Hmm.
one, so
Yeah.
that's obviously talked about as well. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb had 110 yards, but realistically did not play great. Dak Prescott, I feel like, did what he could. And Javonte Williams looked really, really good. I was
Yeah.
expecting, more of the secondary running backs, but he looked really good and he looked capable of being the lead back in Dallas for sure.
Yeah. And then I mean something else I want to add. This could also just be week one rust, but I do think the Eagles defense has definitely taken a big step backwards. I mean, especially watching them in the first half, they could not sustain they could not sustain the Cowboys offense, who I'm not gonna lie, they're not very like lethal in any way. They're just I'd say they're like an above average offense, which is definitely concerning if I was an Eagles fan going towards like the season, especially if you're trying to make another Super Bowl run or playoff push, where you have these elite offenses who will probably just torch their defense.
Yeah, and I think you got to look at like how many guys they lost this offseason, like Josh
Yeah,
Sweat,
Slay,
um,
Darius Slay.
C.J. Gardner Johnson,
Hmm.
Darius, like all these starters that they lost, and yeah, they got guys to replace them, but they're not going to be to the same level, especially not in week one. Adoree Jackson had the pleasure, I guess, of guarding C.D. Lamb in the first half. Looked awful.
Yeah,
They put Jacorian Bennett on him in the second half. That looked better, but there's going to be a lot of learning, mistakes throughout the first few weeks. I will say I do feel that Saquon is yes, like he scored touchdown, 60 yards, whatever. I just like I feel like he's not gonna be have as much stamina as he did last year. He's not gonna rush for 2,000 yards like he did last year. And I do think he's gonna get injured at some point. And I feel like towards the end of the season, this team might do one of those things where they do start really hot. Remember that Cardinals team in I don't know
yeah,
2022 or
yeah. Some
2023,
20
where they
no,
started like
yeah, something like that.
they
2021.
started 9-0, and then faltered. Steelers in 2020, like those teams where like they start really hot and then kind of fall off towards the end of the season due to injuries. The depth is fine. Like Will Shipley's a good backup running back, but I don't know if this team can sustain winning without Saquon Barkley on the field.
I mean, this is also just could be a biased take because you're a Commanders fan, but I'm just gonna give my unbiased take. I do think Saquon, he probably, I mean, yeah, he might get injured. This last year was just definitely like a career year for him. It's like it's definitely unheard of Saquon. But I do think like hitting 1,000 yards or 1,200 yards is not it's
for
not
sure.
something that would be surprising out of Saquon. He can definitely do it this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it at all. But
Yeah.
I do think yeah, he's definitely not going to be as good as last year because I mean, if he's better than last year, then he can be the GOAT of football.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. But yeah, the Eagles won the game. They're 1-0. The Cowboys 0-1. You compare expectations between these two teams. It's definitely like Eagles want to repeat. Cowboys are just hoping to finish above 500, especially after the Micah Parsons trade, which I don't think we talked about really, but
Yeah.
on a prior episode, I believe it's since our last one. But that's been covered enough. I don't know if we really need to talk on that too much.
Yeah.
So moving on, the game going on right now, currently, and we might at the end of the episode know the winner, very likely, and we might revisit this at the end. But currently, the Chargers are up 2018. Um, do you want to just come back to this after we do all of them, or just like
Yeah,
talk
we
about?
can we can come back to this or we can give our first half like takes so far
Yeah, I mean, I will
if you
say
want.
Tyquan Thornton looked good. Not he's not
Yeah.
Rashi Rice, he's not Xavier Worthy, but he looked good. Patrick Mahomes.
Juju's also looking pretty reliable, I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
will say like it's obviously teams are still shaking off rust, but I will say both teams look solid. You're not going to score 40 points in week one, and both these
For
defenses
sure.
are solid. But yeah, running game for both teams looks not amazing, but it's week one again. The Chargers are throwing the ball a lot more than last year, and we'll see if that kind of continues throughout the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
So moving on to our first game of Sunday, that's going to be the Colts and the Dolphins. The Colts are actually favored by a point and a half against the Dolphins in Miami. Donnie, you want to start off with what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I think as long as Tua can stay healthy and he has Tyreek and Waddle and A-Chain with him, I think the Dolphins offense is still pretty lethal in my opinion. I mean, the defense is average at best, but I do think they can definitely outperform Daniel Jones. There's no way Daniel Jones beats does anything. I'm still not convinced on Daniel Jones. I still think that 2022 season was just a lucky year for him.
Yeah. I will say the Colts haven't won a week one game in 8 or 10 years. Like I can't really see them winning this. But with that being said, I don't like both these teams this year. I have them both finishing last in their divisions. I do think Daniel Jones is not horrific. Like he's not awful. Is he a great quarterback? Is he gonna be the next Sam Darnold? Probably not. But can he be a fine, reliable spot starter? Yes. But with that being said, I don't think they have the offensive firepower at all to match that of the Dolphins, even if
Yeah.
both defenses are probably about even. But I have the Dolphins squeaking this one out 23-20 in Miami.
I got 28-14.
A little bit of a blowout, but we'll get to
hmm
bigger blowouts and some more controversial stuff for sure later. Moving on to our second game, we have Donnie's team. We have the Steelers, like at the Jets in New York. The Steelers are favored by 2.5 points. Very low over under. That is to be expected. Both these teams kind of play old style of football. Not a ton of points. Will be scored by Donnie. 30 points for the Steelers. You want to talk about that?
Um, I don't know. I feel like our offense is going to be, I feel like in a way better than last year. I definitely trust Aaron Rodgers a lot more than Russell Wilson. I feel like they don't give Aaron Rodgers enough credit of what he did last season. If you look at his stats and how he performed, it wasn't even that bad. Like you could say it was like above average. And I mean, considering he did that at 40, like I can see him doing it again. And he has DK Metcalf, he has Roman Wilson. Although I do have to say our running back room isn't too lethal. I think that's the one thing that we could definitely struggle with, especially on Sunday. But I just think that overall position wise, I feel like we're over on the Jets. And I don't know. I'm not too sold on the Jets this year. I don't know why everyone keeps saying the Jets are going to be good. I mean, like Jacob has them going into like what the conference championship. I
Yep.
just I don't know. I don't fully trust Justin Fields. Like a part of me sees him as like like a mini Lamar Jackson, but a part of me just sees him as like I don't know. He's just another quarterback.
Yeah, and I think the Steelers defense is going to be very good. That's kind of
Yeah.
why I have 26. I just don't think they put a lot of points up. I don't really believe in Justin Fields a ton, and the rest of this offense doesn't really give me any hope. Brees Hall, And the defense is fine at best. I don't think it's gonna be high scoring. I would be surprised if either of these teams score more than like 21 points. Um, but yeah, I think the Steelers should have this one unless Aaron Rodgers does not look good or
Or he
Justin
pulls up.
Fields balls out.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. And I also do have to say our cornerback room looks kind of scary now this year. I mean, it's better than last year.
No
I feel
Beanie
like
Bishop though.
people don't give Jalen Ramsey enough credit. I feel like
Um,
he had one bad year and people say he's washed. I don't think he's that
no,
bad.
whoa. I don't think people are saying. I mean, all time, like if you think of his career, like people give him probably too much credit. Um, but he's a fine quarterback. He's not like an elite quarterback anymore, or cornerback anymore. Sorry. He's a serviceable cornerback and can start for your team. I would put him, on the level of a Marshawn Lattimore. Like he's a
Oh
solid
yeah.
cornerback. That has used to be a top five corner in the league for sure.
Hmm.
Moving on to our third one. This is gonna be the first one where we have different winners.
Yeah.
Panthers at Jags. Jags are favored by 3.5. Donnie, very low scoring one. You wanna give your reaction out of that?
Um, I think it's gonna be a close game. I actually didn't really know who to decide, but I don't know. I'm not sold on the Jaguars yet. I know everyone. I know especially you. You're pretty high on the Jaguars this. Not that I mean like considerably high on the Jaguars this season. But I don't know. I just don't. Especially week one. I don't see them doing anything like super surprising. I don't think I see Travis Hunter doing anything really significant tomorrow, Sunday. And I'm not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I don't know that I don't like the Jaguars defense at all.
Yeah, I think it's less that I'm high on the Jaguars and more that I just really dislike this Panthers team. I am probably one of the lowest people on Bryce Young that you're gonna find. I like Ted McMillan, Chuba Hubbard's fine, but like as a team, I just don't know what type of upside this team has. I don't think Bryce Young's the long-term future. And the defense is fine, like it'll do the job. But yeah, I think the Jaguars are solid. I like their running back room more than people give it credit for,
Yeah.
especially with the addition of Basal Tootin and Brian Thomas in the second year, Travis Hunter. Even though I don't love Travis Hunter, but he's good. He was the second overall pick for a reason, and I think that they win this comfortably, especially that it's a Jaguars home game, even though they're
Yeah.
pretty close in proximity.
I mean, I do see it. I can see it happening, but I feel like the defense would need to step up in order for the Panthers to only put up 11 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's more that Bryce Young just throws like three picks
Yeah.
than the defense really doing
Yeah.
anything crazy. But I do feel Jaguars defense secondary is not awesome, but like they have Josh Hines Allen, they have Trayvon Walker,
Yeah, for
they have some
sure.
other pieces. Like it's not awful.
Yeah.
Moving on here, we got the Cardinals at the Saints. Um, I'm not gonna say that think that the Saints are gonna be a great team this year, and the Cardinals are favored by 6.5 points. I don't know, like this feels like I don't want to call it a trap game, but I don't like the Cardinals this year that much, and I think the Saints don't get enough credit for what this team is. Like they have good pieces, like their wide receiver room is not awesome, but it's fine. Alvin Kamara is still a very very good running back. Spencer Rattler, he was 0-5 in his starts last year. I think he finally gets his first career win, and the defense is fine. I think it's more that the Cardinals are just not very good.
Really, I think the Cardinals, they're not going to be a playoff team, I think, but I think they'll be a decent middle of the pack team, in my opinion. And I don't see the Saints even being close or near that at all. Then I do think Marvin Harrison is due for a breakout year. I'm really high on Marvin Harrison this year. And also Trey McBride. I don't see the Saints offense doing anything like productive at all. You can't name me like a good Saints player besides like Alvin Kamara, who's slightly washed. Don't say Rashid Shaheed because I know you're gonna say him. And Tyler Shuck, I mean he's
Not
not.
even starting. Not even starting
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah, my bad. Spencer
Should
Rattler. No,
have.
Spencer Rattler is terrible. Shuck.
Um. Well, when he started last year, you got to realize that Chris Olave was injured, Rashid Shaheed was injured. Their wide receiver one was like Mason Tipton or Marquez Valdes-Scantling, both of which are wide receiver 5 or 6s now. Like
Well, yeah, but
he
like
had no, he had no weapons.
Patrick Mahomes can lead the team to the Super Bowl with like the
No, I'm
Juju
never comparing
Smith-Schuster.
Spencer Rattler to Patrick Mahomes. Not even close. But I'm saying that he, didn't get the best hand drawn to him, and I think that he kind of deserves another shot. Even though I think Tyler Shuck is a better quarterback, but I'm sure he'll get his chance at some point this
Well,
season.
I mean, it's not. I mean, if we're just comparing Tyler Shuck to Spencer Rattler, this is like an
It's
irrelevant.
trash. It's
It's an
not good
irrelevant
for it's not
conversation.
good.
It's like a trash quarterback room. It's like comparing mid to mid, but like even worse.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, I kind of wanted to pick a few upsets. Like, not all favorites are gonna win, so this was one of my kind of bigger, I guess probably the biggest upset I picked. Maybe
Okay.
one bigger one that you'll be like, whoa, to, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any big upsets happening.
Now my team, Giants at
This actually,
Commanders.
our score is actually almost identical if you look at
Yeah, I
it.
mean, I don't see any. The Giants left tackle Andrew Thomas is going to be out.
Yeah.
He hasn't practiced all week, and he hasn't practiced all off season really. He practiced once all off season, so don't really see that happening. If that's the case, then there goes probably their one of their strongest players. I don't really see them getting too many points, and I don't really see them stopping Jaden Daniels at all.
Yeah. I mean, especially since Russell Wilson is starting, I don't see a lot happening too.
You've
Um,
seen it firsthand.
yeah, I have seen it firsthand. But I don't know, yeah, this is probably the easiest game that you can predict to be a blowout. This is not really a close game. I don't even think we need to talk about it much. It's pretty predictable it's gonna happen. I'd be more surprised if this was a close game, or I'd be even like, I'd go crazy if the Giants won.
No, I mean, like, is there a world where they win? Yes. Like,
Sure.
our defense could look bad, sure. Jaden Daniels could come out of the gate slow. I don't believe in the sophomore slump, but, like, sure, week one, he might not have his best game, and the Giants might score 27 points, like, and squeak out a win. Like, for sure, it's a divisional game, anything can happen, but as far as us picking a winner, like, I don't really see it happening, especially with the offseason we had and kind of the momentum we have
Yeah.
built up.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on here to the Falcons and Bucks. Donnie with the last minute change had the
Yeah.
Bucks this morning, and changed it due to their injuries. You want to talk
Yeah,
about that?
so originally I had the Bucks winning in a pretty close game. I think the prediction was I think 26-24
Yeah.
Bucks. But the reason why it changed is because I saw that Chris Godwin, well, I mean everyone knew Chris Godwin's going to be out, but I saw that Tristan Wirfs is going to be out.
Hmm.
And I think that's definitely going to limit the Buccaneers offense. I do think Baker is going to be struggling a little bit on Sunday. And I don't know. I'm the more that I think about it, I'm kind of like I'm slowly get like creeping on like I'm slowly joining like the Falcons hype
There
train.
you go.
They're they're
There
kind of
you go.
looking kind of good this year, but I don't think they're gonna be a Super Bowl team or a Michael Penix MVP season.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
I do think that they will be a pretty solid team this year, and I do think that I mean maybe when Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs or when the whole Bucks team is healthy, then this could be a like you could go either way on this matchup. But right now, is with those injuries, I think the Falcons have a pretty good win with this.
Yeah, and I also think like last year you had two great games when these two teams played. Obviously
Yeah.
the Thursday night game where it was like
Oh yeah.
37-32 or whatever, like that was an awesome game.
Mhm.
And I
And then
think that
the other
both
one.
defenses aren't awesome and both offenses are very good in my opinion. So I think
Mhm.
you get another high scoring game for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on here, we have probably if you want to talk about the easiest one to pick, I don't really think anyone's picking the Browns in this one. However, I will say I they only won by 3 points in my prediction. But
Yeah.
Donnie, you want to start with this? Pretty
I mean,
self-explanatory with yours.
realistically, if this was any other team, the Browns are not scoring more than 14 points. But because this is the Bengals and they're playing the Bengals defense, which is probably like bottom five in the league, they're gonna score a lot of points. But I mean, the the Bengals offense is like top five in the league, so they're gonna score a lot. But I don't know. I wouldn't have it that close, 34-31. I do think Flacco will struggle a little bit against that defense, but I don't see a world where the Browns can win. This is worse than the Commanders and Giants one.
I will say the only I was very tempted to pick the Browns, even though like that would be crazy. But you got to realize like the Bengals have started 0-2 the last 3 years. Like they are awful at the start. I get they've changed stuff this season, playing their starters in the preseason, but like
Hmm.
they always start the season slow, and it is the Browns. The Browns suck.
Yeah.
But I do think I think they keep it close. I think that the Browns have something to play for, and like they still have some motivation. And I think Joe Flacco should be solid, and I think he puts up points, and that'll keep the game close, even though I don't think that they
Yeah.
win.
But I mean, if you're Shador, you want Flacco to throw 5 interceptions a game.
Yeah, I just it could happen, but it's also the Bengals defense, and the Bengals
Yeah.
defense is not very good.
Hmm.
Next up, we got the Raiders and the Patriots. kind of surprised neither of us went the Patriots. But I love the Raiders this year. You like the Raiders this year. A little bit less, but still a little bit. I don't love the Patriots, but we both had 3-point victories, so I think these teams
Yeah.
are pretty evenly matched. Probably the closest game to pick on this week one, I would say.
I do think these are like below average to average, or yeah, they're average to below
Yeah.
average teams, but I don't think I think the Patriots will go off on a slow start. I do think though as the season progresses and Travion Henderson does become integrated more into that offense, I do think the Patriots can probably start to develop. And then I know that Christian Gonzalez isn't he also questionable for Sunday?
He's out. He's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so he's out. So I definitely think that this proves my point even more that the Raiders will definitely win this.
Yeah, I had a
Um,
vision. I had a vision of a walk-off field goal by Dylan Carlson, so that was kind of what went into the score for sure.
yeah.
It just,
Um,
it's in New England, like it makes sense.
yeah, but maybe if this was maybe like week 14, week 13, I could see definitely the Patriots winning. But at this point right now, I don't see the Patriots winning this at all.
Yeah, and I trust Pete Carroll to get the job done for sure.
Exactly. Although they did lose Amari Cooper with retirement.
I guess, yeah. First game of the later window, we have the 49ers at Seattle Seahawks. 49ers are favored just by a little bit. Kind of surprised about that, that they are favored with all the injuries they have going on. But we picked different teams. It might change with the CMC injury. However,
Yeah.
I trust Brad Robinson, Isaac Grander. Like, I don't think they take that much away from it. But with
hmm
that being said, I think it's a very close toss up for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sold on the 49ers, especially considering that, last offseason, similar to the Eagles, they lost a bunch of players, or especially defensive players.
Hmm.
And I do think the Seattle Seahawks they'll manage their way to win, but I don't know. I don't think I could see the 49ers winning, but I don't mind hearing what your take is.
Yeah, I think it's less about what's going on with the 49ers, CMC or whatever. I don't like Sam Darnold this season.
Yeah,
And I don't believe that he can lead this offense to be anywhere close to good.
for sure.
And that's kind of why I think they don't put up more than 20 points, and I think that the 49ers can put up more than 20 points even though it's a good Seahawks defense, and I think Brock Purdy doesn't really get enough credit. I still think he's a very solid and he should have Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall healthy. So it's not like he doesn't have any
Yeah.
weapons, and he has George Kittle, of course. So I think that they squeak this one out
Yeah,
by
but
20.
I do think though that Jalen Milroe, I don't know. After watching preseason, I haven't
Yeah.
been too high on Jalen Milroe at all. I don't think that he should be a starter in the second half of the season. I do think you need to develop him
Drew
more.
Lock.
Sure, Drew Lock. But yeah, I feel like this is gonna just be a average year for the Seahawks. I don't
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
anything happening too special.
Hmm. Next up, another one. Sure, we kind of basically have the same pick,
Yeah.
winning by 14, just a slightly different score. I think the Titans have really grown on me recently, and them winning the AFC South has I've seen people like Mike Tannenbaum I think had them winning the division, and I was like, and people are like hating him for that. I can see it happen. Like the Texans are not great, Jaguars are not great, Colts are not great. Like anything can happen,
Yeah,
and
sure.
a lot of teams go last to first. I don't know about the statistic, but like it's
hmm
basically a yearly occurrence, and I think that the Titans have one of the better chances to do that. With that being said, don't really see them winning this game, especially in Denver.
Yeah, especially also considering the Broncos have, if not the best defense in the league right now.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, and this will be a true test for Cam Ward. I'm assuming he'll probably get rookie jitters. I
Hmm.
don't see anything really productive happening from him, but like this is gonna be tough. It's like straight to week one, you're playing one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He could maybe get some stuff done. I could see 17 points being realistic for the Titans, but I don't have the Broncos scoring too many points because I do think Bo Nix might get those sophomore slump just maybe for week one or two.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that the Broncos could win that.
So this is the one. This is kind of the one with the biggest disparity, I guess. The Lions are playing in Green Bay. The Packers are favored by 2.5. Donnie, before we get to my what may seem as a crazy take, do you want to kind of go with your rationale with the
See,
Packers
I
30
thought
point?
my take was crazy. I actually thought my take was crazier because I have the Packers contending for Super Bowl. This was like
Yeah.
I had them even like before you guys could watch last episode. I had this was before the Micah Parsons trade. With the Micah Parsons trade, I think they might win the chip this year. I'm being so serious. Like I'm high on Jordan Love. I don't know. I think Jordan Love gets too much hate in my opinion. Josh Jacobs, I mean, he's good, and I don't know. I think that, and also said it again. I'm not too high on the Lions this year, especially losing a bunch of coordinators. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a close matchup. I can definitely see it, but I'm high on the Packers.
Yeah, as we saw last episode, I am not high on the Packers. I didn't really like. Sure, they got Michael Parsons. I don't really see. I had them 6-11. It's not like I'm gonna have them 10-7. Just from one player. I don't believe in Jordan Love. And especially in this game, like yes, they lost two coordinators. That is just incredibly overhyped. Um, they can replace them. Dan Campbell is a heck of a coach. Like he is one of the best coaches in the
Sure.
league. He can get his players to play hard. And I believe they went to Lambeau last year and blew them out. I don't see why they can't do that again. With a better roster, I understand new coordinators might get a little bit of rookie jitters, as you've been saying. But I think that they should win this comfortably, especially if Micah Parsons is not like 100% and
That's
plays
true.
all the
Cause
snaps because
he
he
is
was newly acquired.
yeah. Cause doesn't he have like a minor back injury?
Yeah, I think he should play. I just don't think he plays,
Hundred
all the snaps.
percent. Yeah, exactly.
Also, we have just learned that the Chargers have beaten the Chiefs.
Oh, 20. Yep, 27-21.
That's a good win.
We'll talk.
I picked the Chiefs to win that, although that's not going to count in ours. But so we'll talk about that at the end after we
Yep.
complete all the games for sure. Now you have. I was surprised. I saw you put the score, and I was like, I didn't think that you believed in the Rams this much.
No, I
But I
do.
think Texans at the Rams. I think that the Rams should win this. It's in LA. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't win this game.
Yeah, I don't know. CJ Stroud might have a junior slump in my opinion. I'm not too convinced with the Texans offense, especially not having Joe Mixon for the first few weeks. I don't know. I'm not too convinced the Texans offense is going to be good. I am convinced that the Rams defense will be solid. I do think Matthew Stafford isn't I mean, he's not underrated, but he's considerably like people don't talk about him enough. And the offense for the Rams does look lethal also.
Hmm. Yeah, that's basically what I was going to say. I think this both sides of the Rams team is underrated. Their defense is arguably top 5 or 10 in the league.
Hmm.
I think it's pretty complete, and then the offense too. Like you could say tight end or maybe offensive line's an issue, but like if they stay healthy, that offense is very very good too. Texans defense is solid, but yeah, no running game realistically. Nick Chubb, I guess, but I don't
We
really
know,
believe in him too much.
yeah. We know he's
Damien
kind of
Pierce, I
washed
guess,
already.
but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see their offense scoring too much and maybe turning the ball over a couple of times, which
Yeah.
gives the Rams the win.
I agree. Because they will have to rely on CJ a lot for this game.
Yeah, yeah. And Nico Collins, because
Hmm.
no Christian Kirk, I believe. So their wide receiver two is like
Yes.
Jaden Higgins and then another rookie. So it's a lot of young names on the offense
Yeah.
for sure.
The other rookie from Iowa.
Yeah, Jalen Noel is
Yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
wide receiver three now, I guess. And they traded away John Mechie.
Hmm.
In Sunday Night Football, what should be a movie, kind of, the two MVPs of last season. We went different ways, but again, I'm guessing both of us could see either team
I
winning
could
this game.
see either team. To me, this is gonna go like down to the wire. This is something that will within like 2 minute warning, it's gonna be decided. This is gonna be like the closest game of the week. I could see this going anyway. This could be potential AFC Championship matchup,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know. I could see any way. This could go any way in my opinion.
Yeah, the only reason I picked the Bills was because this game's in Buffalo, and some sort of home field advantage. They have a
Sure.
great one, obviously. That's basically the only reason. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. I would actually say the Ravens are probably a better team, especially with their defense. But
Hmm.
it's in Buffalo. Josh Allen is great, and I trust him a little bit more in 2 minutes and late game, to win the game for their team.
Yep.
And in Monday Night Football, the Bears are in Chicago playing the Vikings are in Chicago playing the Bears. They are favored by 1.5 points, and we both have very similar scores with the Vikings squeaking it out. I think that JJ McCarthy plays solid.
Yep.
Not crazy, but I think that the run game should be solid with Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Ty Chandler. Like they have a decent run game. JJ McCarthy can run if needed. And I think that it takes a couple weeks for Ben Johnson to kind of ease in and start winning games.
Yeah, I think the Bears will probably take 3 to 4 weeks before they finally find like their groove. I mean, I think the Bears can definitely be a solid above average team, but I just don't think it'll happen right out the gate.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll do it for the week one preview.
We
No
do?
games yet, so that means
Yep.
no standings yet. But this is a year long game between us. Even if
Do
we
you
don't
want
have an
to?
episode for whatever reason, we will still make picks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find those on Instagram. We will be posting those weekly. We will also keep track of the weeks one individually, and then we put scores in those. So that means if you got the score perfectly right, you will get a tally for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Still not a prize for the winner or a bad thing for the loser, but that'll be figured out in the coming weeks for sure.
Yep.
So let's talk about that 2020, 27-21 victory for the Chargers. Does that really like shocking, like not shocking, but like I would expect the Chiefs to win, but does that really change the standings, you think, for the long term?
Um, Not really in my opinion. I do like the Chargers this season. I actually didn't expect them to be this good. I didn't realize how good the passing game was going to be this season. I thought they would have to lean on Lat a lot. I didn't realize how good Quentin Johnston is all of a sudden. And I actually do think that the Chargers could be fighting for the division now. I mean, I think it's too early, but I think they could definitely fight with the Broncos for the second spot in the division,
Yeah, and
in
who
my
knows what
opinion.
happens with the Chiefs? Like they could go on a 12-game winning streak, or they could, lose the division for the first time in I think 7 years. So anything can really happen, and that'll do it for this week's episode. These will be a little bit shorter, but you get to a week, so week one preview, and then on Sunday night we will be recapping the Sunday games. From me and Donnie. Thank you.
Hmm. Thank you.
Don't
See ya.
forget, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to find us. Any last words, Donnie, here?
Steelers are winning the Super Bowl.
Mm,
Goodbye.
great take. That'll do it for us. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Sunday.
Goodbye.